So bowling was underrated actually, and just excuse my little pauses there. But bowling was underrated. Don't miss out. Actually, go and actually do those activities with family and friends that you feel like aren't going to be worth it. Because I just went bowling and it was actually pretty awesome. I remember, and the funny thing about this was that I used to actually go to that area because I had a family friend and she invited me and my a bunch of other family members, like distant relatives, to this bowling alley at this location that I used to go shopping at for for sale clothing. And it was actually funny that I actually knew about the place when I was younger, but I'd say a decade ago. But now that I actually figured out that I actually went to it, it was actually something that was actually really cool and pretty awesome. And I think I'm going to definitely go on more trips in the future. I think I have like skiing coming up, and I do know that when I went bowling, at first I went like, okay, I'm not gonna go. And then the second time around, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. And then the third time around, I'm like, I'm not gonna go. And then the fourth time around, and this is all in the same scheduling pattern as someone else, because I kept calling someone, a family friend, and I kept calling them, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go. I kept not making up my mind. And sorry if I'm speaking really quickly. It was just a lot of my mind going through that whole event. But I actually ended up going to it, and it was actually really fun. Not because of necessarily seeing the family friends, it was actually more of a fun thing that I actually went to the event. Because I hadn't bowled in years, and I actually remember it almost reminded me of like video games, like a nostalgia of like Wii Sports, and I was like doing it at first. It was pretty like tough for me, but it was actually quite it's pretty exhilarating at first. I can't lie, because I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get like a couple of them in a row, my first couple of attempts. And I remember I got like zeros. I got a bunch of zeros, and it was like tough for me at first. And I was like, oh man, I don't wanna mess up. I don't wanna mess up. People are watching. People are watching. But I ended up liking it a lot because it actually taught me this cool lesson that had to do with at the last minute when it comes to stuff like that, don't miss out and don't be negative about it. Actually be positive and optimistic and say, hey, you know what? Why not? I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna see what it's like and I'm gonna enjoy it. And that's what happened. It was actually something that literally happened to me. At the last minute, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just take an Uber. And I took an Uber and I went to the location, and then I ended up getting there and it was pretty cool. I ended up even getting a strike, so I felt pretty confident after. And I remember I ended up, I think, scoring pretty high. It was like good for not competition, but just like the environment and the vibes. But yeah, bowling was awesome. Don't miss out.